I'm so sorry, y'all. My bad. Y'all know I'm new to this. Y'all know I'm new to the streaming. My big time apology. So let me start all the way over for those of you who are not lip readers. So post game report here, be new coming at you with, of course, the game that just transpired between the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers. And before I get into the X's and O's of the game, I kind of just wanted to touch on all the haters and everybody saying LeBron James, did not want to play. He wanted to. The craziest one I heard was, oh, he's scared of Kyrie Irving. He's scared of Kyrie. Now, that's one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard. Then, of course, we know people saying, well, he wants to break the record at home. Also saying that, he just wants to play at Madison Square Garden, all these different sorts of things. But at the end of the day, I've been saying ever since the beginning of the season that LeBron James has had a sore foot that has been ailing him for a majority of the season. So, coming into the season, that was something that was really bothering him. And if you go back and look at all my shows from the beginning, I continued to say that LeBron James' 3-point shot was off. And if you remember, in the first few couple weeks of the season, LeBron James was shooting well below his career average, because we know LeBron James shoots over 50% on his career, which is outstanding in itself. But he was shooting around 42% for the year, for the first few weeks of the season, and that was due to that sore foot that has been ailing him for the majority of this season. And of course, to compile that, it was a few games into the season too, a couple of weeks into the season, his ankle was rolled on more than one occasion, and he was battling a right sore ankle. So, these are things that take into account of a 38-year-old that's playing on, a back-to-back. And we saw last time, I think, when LeBron James played back-to-back, that was against San Antonio when Anthony Davis just returned back from injury, and we saw LeBron James put up some very pedestrian-like numbers. With that being said, LeBron James really did not have it tonight. He just had injuries, and it is what it is. So, but what I would have liked to see is Darvin Ham actually play at least Anthony Davis tonight. We know Anthony Davis is just coming back and has to work his way into game shape, and he has to, get back into a rhythm and everything. But with the way the Lakers really needed this victory, it would have been best for at least one of those two to play tonight. And I know both will probably play tomorrow, but if you were going to sit LeBron James tonight, then you probably should have played Anthony Davis tonight, because I dare say if Anthony Davis was playing in the game tonight, then of course the Lakers probably could have went on to win the game, because the Lakers did make a game out of it. They started off very slow. One thing I did not like, I mean, you're already down Anthony Davis and you're down uh, uh, LeBron James, and you choose not to start Russell Westbrook. And I was wondering where the Lakers offense was going to come from, because we know Dennis Schroeder has not been performing very well, and Austin Reeves has missed his 13th straight game. And I'm telling you what, when the Lakers went on that run in the third quarter, it was in large part due to that of Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook and Wayne and Gabriel. They had some good plays going on to where, he was getting some nice touches, and that's why Russell Westbrook had so many assists that he had. He did have some bonehead plays where he did turn the ball over, but at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook in the first quarter, when it was 19-5, he's the one who got them back into the game. So I'm not going to put this blame directly on Russell Westbrook. I will say, the Lakers came out and played a hell of a third quarter. They went up after being down by 19 or 20. They actually went up and took the lead by 7 or 8. And then for some reason, NBA TV decided to interview Michael B. Jordan. And I don't know what happened next. It's sad to say, because why are you having a split screen so we can see Michael B. Jordan during this interview? I would have been fine just being able to hear Michael B. Jordan. Nobody needed to see him. And I got a 75 inch, and I mean a 75 inch screen television that I'm watching it on at the time. And I'm like, why are you splitting the screen? I can still barely see, like, what is going on. So it kind of makes it hard. I don't understand that. But they did. I like the way NBA TV had the drone going on tonight. They had the head cam for, Dennis Scott, which I think is real nice too. So I will say the telecast is a lot better than TNT, because I'm telling you what, the TNT I'm telling you, it's just not what it used to be. I'm not going to call any names, but some of those commentators over there on that network really get under my skin. But, at the end of the day, the Lakers, like I said, they came out and made it a game. But I thought the most detrimental part to the game for the Lakers on tonight was that of really Thomas Bryant in the fourth quarter not being able to protect the paint, because time and time again the Nets were able to get to the hole and they were able to finish, and it just made it far too easy for the Nets to be able to score at the end of the game. And then maybe with 7 minutes left in the game, they decided to put Hachimura in at center. Then you had no Wenyen Gabriel and no Thomas Bryant, which actually was not a horrible idea, because he's more athletic and he can give you a lot more quickness on the pick and roll defense. But at the end of the day, I'd have liked to see him and Wayne out there together to see what they could do, particularly going up against this matchup, because Kyrie did not have a good game. I think he was only like 7 out of 16 or 7 out of 17. It wasn't like he was lighting it up. Really, tonight it was all about the bench players. It was more so, all about I would say Patty Mills. Patty Mills came in and gave the Nets a great boost off the bench. But, ultimately, I hate to say this, but I think Darvin Ham was just outcoached during that stretch leading into the third quarter, going into the fourth. The Lakers came out and played a hell of a third quarter, came out and eventually took the lead after being down 19. They went on a nice run. And then, of course, when Brooklyn responded, you never stopped the bleeding. You kept timeouts in your pocket. At some point going into that third quarter, when you saw that they were putting together a 23-5 run, you should have called a timeout, made some adjustments, and stopped the bleeding. One of the biggest problems with the Lakers right now is, I don't want to put a whole lot of blame on Dennis Schroeder, but Dennis Schroeder has got to play better if he's going to be the starting point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers. He'll be streaky, and then he'll play a game when there's no really superstars in the game, and he can go out and get you 30. So where's that same intensity and that tenacity, when it comes for you to make these shots? I will give him this. Dennis Schroeder constantly can get to the hole. I mean, he gets to the hole a whole lot. The problem is he's having trouble finishing. But I will say this, at one point in the fourth quarter, it's like 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And if you look up, the Lakers had cut it down to 8. It was a bad call. Pat Bev should have had a steal. The referee said it was off his foot when clearly he stole it. He did kick his foot out. I mean, but you can clearly see that if it would have been kicked, the ball would have went way over there. So that was a horrible call. Pat Bev didn't catch a tech on that, but it led to a Nets 3. So another horrible call. And then a few minutes later, the same instance, a ball that was out on, I think it was out on Kyrie. They said it was out on Pat Bev. Pat Bev told Ham to challenge. I mean, at this point, it's a 10-point game with 4 minutes left. You still have an opportunity. Ham does not challenge. He elects not to challenge and keeps the challenge in his pocket for whatever reason. I don't know what he was holding it for. Patrick Beverly was quite adamant that it was out of bounds. But, of course, there was another bad call by the officials, that ball, and that led to another 3 by Kyrie. Next thing you know, they was up by 16. And then my plus 10.5 that I put on FanDuel made me lose my money. Appreciate that. I was taking the Lakers plus 10.5. I thought that they would keep it close. The game kind of played out like I thought it would. The Lakers came out very slow, really let Brooklyn get up the way they did in the first quarter. And then at that point, it's really hard to win a game when you allow that to happen. They exerted so much energy in that third quarter to be able to come back. And then, of course, here's Patty Mills hitting back-to-back threes. It took a lot of wind out of their sails. And then, of course, some sloppy, careless turnover plays by Russell Westbrook, who actually had a decent game. If you look at the stat sheet, I think he was a minus 12, though. And Dennis Schroeder was actually a plus. So at the end of the day, I do look at the stats. I do look at advanced analytics, and I do take all that into account. But when you're looking at plus minus, you always have to remember what other players are on the floor with that player during that particular time and during that particular stretch. And also, what other players are they facing up against the other team. So it is what it is, but, we're going to have more breakdown tomorrow. I want to apologize for talking to you guys so long on the live stream at the beginning without my microphone being on. I mean, I really feel bad about that, but like I said, it's only my second time live streaming. Y'all know how I've been doing it on this channel for years. It's usually in the morning I do my shows. I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit and do some more live streaming, post-game reaction, and, just have more interaction with everybody. That way we can talk about, what's going on with the game or whatever. During the off days, we can talk about, everything that's going on with LeBron James as far as him coming close to breaking this record. We can do GOAT debate. We can just do whatever you guys want. It's your channel just as much as mine. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And, again, apologies for not having the microphone on. I really do feel bad for that. But the Lakers end up falling tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. They will take on the New York Knicks on tomorrow night. Expect Anthony Davis and LeBron James to be suited up and booted up and prepared to play. I, for one, predict a Lakers victory. Then I predict another Lakers victory against the Pacers. And with Zion still being out, even though Brandon Ingram is coming back, the New Orleans Pelicans have not been playing well. And as a matter of fact, I think the Lakers are trying to creep. Let me just take a good look here right now. Yes, the Minnesota Timberwolves have fallen to the Sacramento Kings 118-111. That drops Minnesota down a game as well. OKC, thank you, Golden State. They did the Lakers a favor tonight. OKC has now fallen to Golden State 128-120. So the Lakers still have an opportunity to get back into the West. At the end of the day, they're only 3.5 games back of being in playoffs. And that's not just a play-in, but actually secure for the playoffs in that 6th seed. So it's very jumbled standings in the West right now as we continue to track everybody's records. We'll have exactly where the Lakers stand tomorrow morning. And what I'll do tomorrow morning, I'll do a post-game show where we can break down everything and then actually do a pre-game show and just have predictions, stat lines, matchups, and see what the Lakers will go on to face on the New York Knicks on tomorrow night. We know LeBron James, I believe, is 117 points away from breaking the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. He won't get that 117 tomorrow. We know that, but he's going to damn near do his best to maybe drop 50. So for all the haters talking about, he's just trying to do it at home. He doesn't care about winning, and then I saw, what was that, Chandler Parsons, put up whatever he said, talking about, oh, if my French bulldog got ran over, I wouldn't even act the way LeBron James. Well, let me tell you something. You must don't like your dog. Because if anybody else saw their poor little dog get ran over, you should be very distraught. But saying that you wouldn't even be at that level of upset if your damn pet got ran over, because everybody want to take jabs at LeBron James. Everybody want to get famous off LeBron James. And Chandler Parsons, I'm mad at you for robbing Memphis for all their money back from the Grizzlies back in the day when you came over from Houston. You never played through injury. You never did anything. You was always on the beach. So, you can just keep them comments to yourself. And I'm pretty sure LeBron James is unbothered by that. And that's for people who say, LeBron doesn't have passion for the game. That shows his passion. And it also just shows how much anger and a lot of things that he had built up going into the past few weeks, because the Lakers have not got the fair end of the stick from the referees when it comes to a lot of these games. And if you look at even the other Celtics game, this Celtics game, you can look at, the Philly game. You can look at the game Kendrick Nunn didn't get the foul on the 3-point at the end. Several games that the Lakers really should probably be 2 or 3 games above 500 right now instead of 4 or 5 games below 500. So at the end of the day, the Lakers still have an opportunity to me, make a run in the West. And to me, it's anybody's West, because once you get a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the playoffs, I say all bets are off. And, Golden State is that team too. They're down in the bottom of the rankings too. But once the playoffs start, who want to play Golden State? Once the playoffs start, who wants to play the Lakers? So we shall see. One thing about it, though, Devin Booker will be returning. So I don't expect, Phoenix Suns, they took a heavy fall in the standings while he was out. That shows the value of a Devin Booker, how good Devin Booker has been, So at the end of the day, that shows why he was an MVP candidate, because as soon as he left, the Phoenix Suns did horrifically over the past games, just like Zion Williamson being out shows how bad New Orleans has done. But, like I said, the Lakers have an opportunity to move up in the standings if they can finish out this road trip successfully. I still think they got 3 very winnable games in front of them. They got New York tomorrow, Indiana, and then, of course, finishing off in New Orleans, and then back at home against OKC. I think they can put together a 4-game win streak, get themselves back at 500 or 1 game below, and then beating OKC would be a big boost to them because they could probably put them in front of them and put the Lakers at least into the play-in tournament where it stands. And my prediction, by the time All-Star break rolls around, that the Lakers will be comfortably in the 8th or 9th seed. So that's just my prediction. That's if Anthony Davis can maintain and stay healthy. So that's just something we have to look at, but at the end of the day, I just want to, wish everybody love, positive blessings. Everybody who's joining in on the channel is much, much appreciated. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this every game. So just stay tuned. If it's a Lakers game on and y'all know it's on, when the game is over, I'll be right here to break down the game, to answer anybody's question, anybody who got a question about the game, what you thought about the game. This is all for interaction. This is all for you guys. So like I said, man, much love to everybody. Again, apologize for the acoustics issue at the beginning. That won't happen again. Like I said, I'm navigating my way through that. So, man, again, this your boy B New. I want to say right on to the real. Much love to the haters. Speaking of which, shirts, hoodies, hats, they on my YouTube store. Click on the link. I got the merch. It says right on to the real. Much love to the haters. That's the slogan. We sending it nationwide because we want everybody to know no matter how much you hate, you can keep sending all that hate our way. We're going to keep on sending out plenty love because, that's the way the universe works. We're going to stay positive and we're going to bring positivity. We're going to bring that to LBJ. We're going to bring that to Lakers Nation. The Lakers going to make this push. It's going to be playoff bound. And if you smart, go ahead and put your money on the Lakers to get in the playoffs because they're having pretty good odds right now. And I'm telling you what, Anthony Davis is going to remain healthy. The Lakers are going to go on a run. They are going to clinch that seed. And I'm telling you, if you look at the teams that they played, if you look at the higher seeded teams that they've played, then they've done well. They've beaten Denver twice, once without Anthony Davis when he got injured. They've beaten the Grizzlies. We saw how they gritted that out. They've beaten the Milwaukee Bucks. They were right there with the Celtics in both games. They was pretty much right there with the Sixers in both games. So some travesty adjustments happened on that as well. So like I'm saying, the Lakers can go toe-to-toe with any team. I mean, right now you're looking at some great parity in the league. And a lot of people want to say this and that. But like I said, right now, from top to bottom, the league is probably the most talented as I've seen it in a long time. A lot of people want to say that the league, it's no defense, it's no defense. I would beg to differ. It's just that the floor is so much spread now because you have so many players with so much more talent as far as being able to shoot the three, being able to ball handle. See, in Michael Jordan's era, you only had, a few players, maybe 1 or 2 players on each team who even had handles. You understand what I'm saying? You had people looking down at the ball, dribbling it, and that's real talk. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of great players in the 90s as well, but Jordan wasn't doing the things he was doing in the 80s because in the 90s, you added from 88 until 95 and 96, you added 6 teams. You added Charlotte Hornets, Vancouver Grizzlies, Miami Heat, all these different, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets, all these teams that you added during that expansion era kind of watered down the league. And you can look at quotes from even Rodman, who played for the Bulls, said, we don't have competition. And it wasn't saying because he was great. He said the league was watered down. And then there was other coaches at the time who were saying, it used to take 3 great players and a handful of good players, or 3 or 4 great players to win a championship. Now it only takes 2 because of the league was so spread out, And like Isaiah Thomas said, y'all came and took our players. Didn't Dennis Rodman play for them? I mean, I'm just keeping it real, keeping it like it is, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, hold on, I'm trying to see what y'all saying something to me. Let's see who we gonna trade for. I'm telling y'all right now, this is what I'm predicting right now is we're gonna trade for what's his name, Bogdanovich. I want to say Bogdanovich up at Detroit Pistons, and if you notice, Bogdanovich has the same agent as Rui Hachimura. They had the same exact agent, and and of course, don't forget, I think Gary Trent Jr. Just hired Clutch Sports to be his agent. So still some moves left to be made. I know a lot of people want to ship Westbrook out of here. I wouldn't necessarily say that would be a good move because I think Westbrook can add some value during the playoffs. I think he can add some value, off the bench and continue to play his role because he can really push the pace. And at times he played great this game. He had 10 assists. He was really getting players involved, getting them easy looks, and that's something that you want anybody to do off the bench. But you're gonna have to have improved play by Dennis Schroeder. But if the Lakers can get rid of him and maybe get a shooter, a true 3-and-D shooter though, like Bogdanovich, he a great shooter, but we need somebody who can really run that wing, and I think that's what Hachimura is. He gives you that length and that size as far as the wing is there. But what we got to realize is, man, what's up with you, DP? But what you got to realize is, man, that's right. Right on to the real. Much love to the haters, baby. Like I said, we starting a nationwide move on that. So merch is out there, the hoodies out there. Y'all go ahead and check them out. I made it lowest I could make it. It ain't even on me. If it was, I'll give them away. But right on to the real. Much love to the haters. That's what we always say, and we're gonna keep pushing. But back to what I was saying about Hachimura. Hachimura, I think. He's going to settle into his role. He showed some signs of what he could do tonight. I think, him being a good wing defender is only going to help the Lakers as they continue. I would have liked to see the other night, Thomas Bryant alongside AD for some stretch of the game. We still haven't seen that yet, depending on how the Knicks match up tomorrow night. And I'll be here tomorrow to break down maybe the pregame show of Lakers versus Knicks. But like I said, I'm predicting the Lakers on a 4-game win streak. They're going to get themselves back to 500, and they're going to make a run. They're going to make slight work of the Knicks tomorrow, slight work of the Pacers, and of course New Orleans gets you on that good 3-game win streak as LeBron goes home back to downtown LA on Figueroa Avenue. We already know Crypto.com Arena, what is going to be going down as LeBron solidifies his case as the GOAT, as he is the all-time leading scorer of all time. So, we're going to have a whole lot to talk about because there's going to be a whole lot of haters. What you say, Westbrook cost us at least 1.5 games. Hey, I won't lie to you. Westbrook, he has had some terrible games where he has cost the Lakers some games. But at the end of the day, because he's making, $43 million, we already halfway through the season. If you cannot get a solidified bona fide trade to get something back in return, I say you ride out his contract, because at the end of the contract, you don't have to re-sign him. You just let him walk, and then you free up $45 million in cap space. Do you know what the Lakers could do with $45 million in cap space? That is a lot of bread. Nah, don't start worrying about the record. Is that what y'all saying? Don't start worrying about the Lakers record. That's nothing. Look at the standings. The Lakers only 4.5 games back of being in 4th or 5th place. I'm telling you, these teams are going to continue to beat up on each other. Like I said, Minnesota just lost. Portland just lost. Portland is actually beating the Hawks, but they might lose. Let's see. The Suns are down to Toronto right now. Dallas barely hanging on against Detroit. OKC lost tonight. Minnesota lost tonight. These teams are not going to hang around. I'm telling you what, like Utah, they started out the gate so quick. Nobody's really concerned about them. So I'm telling y'all what, the Lakers are going to be able to go on a run. They're going to be able to make some separation. Leading into the All-Star break, they're going to get a good whole week off, everybody to get rested up. Austin Reeves can come back. I mean, and a lot of people poo-poo over Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves is a pretty damn decent defender, and he was shooting a pretty decent high clip from the three-point line before he left. I think for the season, maybe only 35, 36%. But for the past, I think 20-so-odd games that he was playing, he was well over 40%, and he was working on a 40, 50, 90 because he was at, 89% from free throw. So Austin Reeves, that's somebody to look out for. I hate that the hamstring is out. He's missed the past, 13 or 14 games. And that just shows you LeBron James playing through pain, playing through the foot, playing through the ankle. And then people got the audacity to test his nerve and test his, his courage and, his willingness to want to compete. Because, LeBron James is an ultimate competitor. And I'm telling you what, sitting on the first night of the back-to-back, give Kawhi Leonard that same energy. Give all them the same energy that's missing all these games and constantly sitting. Don't bring it to a 38-year-old man. Bring it to a 38-year-old man. That's not really the energy that LeBron James needs right now. Because the haters gonna hate. They're gonna continue to hate, and that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, what you say there, my boy? Oh, yeah, LeBron, that Austin Reeves-LeBron connection, yes, you're right about that. They got good chemistry on the floor together, especially on fast breaks. To me, I seen fast breaks with Pat Bev. Man, you know how many fast breaks Pat Bev messed up with LeBron when he running up the court. LeBron is trailing, and Pat Bev throw an ugly oop all up here or over there. I have to slow it down and can't get Austin Reeves. He just flip it. He know right where to get it to put it to where LeBron James can get it every time on the flush. Even with Skywalker, Austin Reeves, I mean, he doesn't get the credit. I mean, to be a second-year player coming from where he came from, he doesn't get the credit. He's only going to get better. when he was playing, I would like to actually see him start over Lonnie Walker just because Lonnie Walker wasn't giving it to you on the defensive end, and Lonnie Walker was being very streaky. I didn't pull up tonight. For some reason, it just seemed like my boy Max Christie didn't get a whole lot of minutes. Let me check and see really quick. Let's see. Max Christie, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. What's up with that, Ham? What's up with that, Ham? You short players. None is gone. I mean, AD and LeBron is out. I would like to see Max Christie get some more playing time because Max Christie, as we've seen, has been a good 3-point shooter and to me a damn good defender. Because Max Christie, he will be glued to you. He fights through screens. He gets around his defender. He stays glued to him at the hip without fouling. So I don't understand why Max Christie only got 7 minutes tonight. And then, let's see. Oh, and what really gave the game away, do y'all know how many free throws the Lakers missed tonight? And you cannot, the Lakers were very aggressive. The Brooklyn Nets only had 19 free throws. They was 15 out of 19. The Lakers were very aggressive. They got to the paint. They got a lot of calls. You know, the referees, I would say, I'm not saying they trying to make up for last game, but they got a lot of calls. And lo and behold, what? 23 out of 37. 23 out of, what they lose by 17, you missed 14 free throws. Had you made your free throws, you'd be right there in the game. But Russell Westbrook continued to miss free throws. Thomas Bryant missed a pair of free throws. I mean, every time they go to the free throw line. So if you look at it, Brown, 1 out of 2 from 3. Speaking of which, Troy Brown had a good game tonight. I will say that. Troy Brown, I think, played excellent defense. He was 4 out of 8. He shot 50%. He was 2 out of 3 from 3, 66%. Hachimura, but let's go back to the free throws. 1 out of 2 for Brown. 3 out of 6 for Hachimura. Thomas Bryant, 3 out of 7. Dennis Schroeder, he missed 1, so that's not bad. Westbrook, 4 out of 7. You like to see your point guard make better than what? 4 out of 7, 57% from the free throw line. That's not going to cut it. You know. But yeah, Ham straight up tripping. I don't understand why he didn't get Troy Brown Max Christie more playing time. I don't understand why when Russell Westbrook really had it going on towards the end in the third quarter when they was making that run. How many of y'all saw what he was doing with that connection with Wayne and Gabriel? He was giving it to him on that pick and roll. He was finding a sweet spot every time, and Wayne and Gabriel was getting easy little money at the rim, right there at the rim. But for whatever reason, he brought in Thomas Bryant. They went on a run, and I'm telling you what, Thomas Bryant, I love his tenacity as far as, you know, on the offensive end, getting boards, you know, trying to get boards and just being aggressive in the paint. But I'm telling you, his biggest weakness and what he needs to work on, and I don't know if it's just a lack of athleticism because we have a lot of centers that are so quick in this league now. Thomas Bryant needs to really work on his pick and roll defense, man, because anybody is getting by this man. I don't care if it's a point guard, a center, a power forward, man. They is just really getting by him at will, and they make it very, very easy to do so. So, you know, I, for one, to look forward to Anthony Davis when he gets his wheels back underneath him because actually he didn't play well last game. And it all depends on who Thomas Bryant matches up against because last game where the Celtics were minus Williams because Williams was hurt, Thomas Bryant had a good game. And you elected to play AD in the fourth quarter and overtime when Thomas Bryant is the one who really had you to lead against the Lakers. So what I would like for Darvin Ham to do is to start getting a better feel for these games. I mean, he's a damn good coach to me being a rookie coach. And I'm going to say he better than Vogel. I don't give a damn. He better than Vogel. And I know the personnel a little bit different. And if you look at the Lakers, team from last year, 8 players on their team. Do y'all know that 8 players from the Lakers team is not even in the league now? Do y'all know that? Carmelo Anthony, not in the league. Dwight Howard, not in the league. What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's not coming to my mind. I see all their faces, but their names. Because they so damn sorry. They're not even in the league, and people want to, LeBron can make the playoffs, but he had a team. Now, it's only so many players on a roster, 12, 15-man roster. Usually you get a 12-man rotation, and you're talking about 8 players that was on the Lakers roster from last year are no longer in the league. And you're right. His late game management has not been good. I will say his late game management against the Celtics, that was a great play he drew up for LeBron. You know, they just didn't get the whistle at the end of the day. But, you know, it has not been well. Just like fourth quarter, no Russell Westbrook the whole fourth quarter. Then you decide to bring him in the overtime. At this point, he got to get warmed up. He wasn't on the exercise bike back there because at this point, he's thinking he's not even going to play. Then it goes to overtime, and you expect him to come and get warmed up and come out here and be effective. I mean, that is not the easiest thing to do. In the NBA, you have to be you got to get warmed up in order to get out here and play and be successful. I mean, that's just the way the game works, and the game is always going to be a game of runs. And tonight, yet again, he proved when the Nets went on that 25-5 run, he didn't call a timeout. He just let it go to the third quarter without stopping the bleeding and making some changes. And another thing, I would like to see Russell Westbrook start tonight because even though I know he has his flaws, he is the one who pushes the pace for the Los Angeles Lakers. He pushes the pace and he gets other people involved, and as simple as that. And if you manage the other superstars, it would have been nice to get him out there because we all know the Lakers play with the second fastest pace in the league. But I, for one, am looking forward to LeBron James playing at MSG tomorrow. He only plays there now once a year because he's in the West for the past few years, so he only gets a chance to play there once a year. So he's going to be looking to show up and show out. Yep, Trevor Ariza, that's one of them. Name some more of these clowns, man. I see how they faces, but I'm telling you, I don't know why Trevor Ariza was even getting minutes last year. That was ridiculous. Dude could not defend to save his life, and there's a reason why he's out of this league. You cannot defend, and people keep saying there's no defense. It's defense. It's just offenses are so much more spread out now. That's the nature of the league. You swinging the ball, you get a pick and roll, you got somebody who got to come from the weak side to help, you got a shooter out there, you come off your man, that's a bucket. Then they swinging around the key, you rotate, the ball move quicker than the man. This is not the 90s where you walking it up the court, you throwing it down in the post, you bang, bang, turn around, they might double, you might kick it out. I want to point this out before I sign off. I want to point this out. They did a great job denying Kyrie Irving the ball a lot of times during the game tonight. That's something you couldn't even do in Jordan era. You weren't allowed. Two men couldn't guard one man without the ball. That was illegal defense back then. I don't know if y'all knew that, but that was illegal defense. So you couldn't front them and force somebody else to beat you like that. So you wonder why, oh man, Jordan was all first team defense. Well, who was he guarding every single night? We can go down the list. We can go 88, 89, 90. And who was he guarding every single night? You know what I mean? Man, appreciate that, Tillman, man. Appreciate that, DT, baby, man. Y'all keep it up. Show me some support and love. Like I said, we're going to take this nationwide, worldwide, you know what I'm saying, eventually. But if we don't do nothing else, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun, and that's what I aim to do. I appreciate the love for everybody, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, we're going to be celebrating. I might be like Shay Sharp. Might break out some of that Hennessy because I'm from Tennessee and I love sipping Hennessy. And we might celebrate a Lakers win tomorrow, MSG. Appreciate you, that DP, man. David. Yeah, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony. Yes, you're right. All of them. Straight trash. I got a meme for it. I'll put it up tomorrow to show you all of them. They all gone. That's throw the whole team away. You know how they used to say throw the whole team away? That's what they did. Threw the whole team away, got rid of it, and then nobody wants you. And nobody wanted you. So, it is what it is. Lakers got some young players who got some potential. That's one thing I do like about them now. And I'm talking about that of Max Christie. I think Max Christie has a tremendous upside. So I'm looking forward to see how he develops going on into future years. But if you even look, what is Kuzma really doing? I mean, he's trying to do something, but when you're a main focal point of the offense, you're going to get numbers. That's the way it is. But at the end of the day, I think the Lakers eventually, last year was a hurting season, but I think they're going to turn the corner. And I think Russell Westbrook should walk. Don't trade him. Let him leave. Free up that $45 million and see what you can do with that next year, because you'll be surprised. And we're going to take a look, of course, in the offseason as we continue to prepare in the offseason to see potential free agents, because I'm actually not sure the biggest names on the market, but I don't think the Lakers need a big three. I've been saying dynamic duos for a long time. I've been saying dynamic. If you go back and look at all my shows I ever did, I've been saying dynamic duos for a long time. It's been winning championships, whether it's been Shaq and Kobe, whether it's been MJ or Pimpin', whether it's been Isaiah and Dumars, whether it's been Bird and McHale, whether it's been, and I know you throw in Robert Parrish and other players, but I'm talking about the main two, whether it was Magic and Worthy, whether it was Magic and Kareem, however you want to duo it up. It's all about that dynamic duo. And I mean, whether you say it's LeBron and D-Wade, and I did say yes, D-Wade, because Bosh, while he was a great player, come on now. Without him joining LeBron James and winning championships and doing the things he did in Miami, would he really be in the Hall of Fame? LeBron James put that man in the Hall of Fame. We all know that. Kevin Love, what was he really doing in Minnesota year after year before he joined LeBron James? LeBron James took him to 4 straight finals, got him a ring. These people should all be thankful to LeBron James. So, anyway, time for your boy to sign off, man. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. We're going to get back in it, be right back at it tomorrow. As always, man, right on to the real. Much love to these haters.